everyone. It's Tanika Maria here of Get Real and Be Healed, helping you walk in emotional wholeness, peace, and clarity. And how many of you know that that is so important? So very important in the times that we are living in, to feel wholehearted, to have peace, and to just walk with a deep sense of clarity of purpose about where you're going, where you are now, and where God is leading you into your future. And that's what I'm about. And to do that, we have to get real and be healed from the inside out. We live our lives from the inside out. It's not the outside that impacts us. It's what's going on the inside of us and how we respond to the outer that dictates our perception and our internal reality. So I invite you to come here with me. As I promised last week, I will be coming out here more frequently, and we're going on a journey together, the journey home. And I'm doing this series entitled Matters of the Heart, the Journey Home. And on today, we're going to be talking about matters of the heart, and we're going to be talking about ways or signs that you know that you are disconnected from your heart. Your heart is your center place. Your heart is your home. Home is where the heart is, like they say. So we're going to talk about ways that you can know that you are disconnected from your own heart. And then in my next video, we're going to talk about ways that you can get reconnected again. And so if you are not subscribed in whatever platform you may be watching this video from, I encourage you to subscribe, follow, so that you can get the notifications, give hearts, likes, thumbs up, whatever platform you are on, definitely do that. And also at the bottom of this, in the notes or in the a section where you can see, where you can link, there is a link to a free downloadable 14-day guide, because we're doing a self-coaching journey with prayer, with activations, affirmations, and questions. The self-coaching part is the questions, and you can download this absolutely free. And every time I come out with the video, you can follow along with me. So I encourage you to be connected, to come with me on the journey, and let's get going on this today. So let's dive in today's teaching. Today's teaching is matters of the heart. How do you know if you're disconnected from your heart? What does that look like? You know, disconnection, it comes under the guise of busyness. It comes under delays. It shows up in the emotional numbness, in the woundedness. It shows up in unprocessed pain. Because usually when we are disconnected, that's our nervous system flight response. When I'm disconnected in my mind in some kind of way, there's something that happened that triggered me. And so instead of dealing with it, I'm running away in my mind. How do we run away? We disconnect. We no longer connect with ourselves, and we no longer connect with God. And so how does that show up? Let's look at this. Of course, numbness, unable to really feel all your feelings. There's a part of you that's sort of numb, and you cannot identify or really fully feel your feelings. It's kind of a dullness, a numb type of sensation. So that's number one. If you're taking notes, jot this down, or just listening and let this soak in at your leisure. But number one, if you're in this space where you're feeling numb, it's sort of a dullness there, and there's kind of a depression type dull feeling of numbness there, that's a sign that you're disconnected from your heart. Number two, if you find yourself easily triggered by anything really, but by other people, their words, what they're saying, small stuff, silly stuff, big stuff, you're easily triggered and easily irritated. I know. That's a sign that you're disconnected. Number two, that restless feeling where you're just restless and you can't settle down, and you're just shiftless and restless, and you're just not in that place of ease. Not in that place where you just can like exhale. You're not in a place where you're feeling serene, or you lack just that certain level of ease, and you just feel restless and shiftless, and you just can't settle down. It's that jittery, restless type feeling. And if you're feeling that way, and if you've been feeling like that for a while, that's a sign that you are disconnected in your heart in some way. All right. Fatigue. A lot of our feelings are trapped in our body. Emotions just don't disappear. Just because you choose not to feel them, just because you can't feel them, just because you feel numb, doesn't mean you don't have emotions. Oh, you have them. Trust and believe. You got plenty of emotions. And when they're not fully expressed, they become repressed and they become suppressed in your body. And it manifests itself in the form of, guess what? Disease, because you're not at ease. And so it shows up, but it first gets into your body, and it manifests in the fatigue. It manifests as fatigue in your body, where you're feeling some kind of way, something rubbed you the wrong way, and now you're tired. Has that ever happened to you? Something small, something big, someone said something happened, a circumstance, a situation, something you saw on Facebook, something you saw on Instagram, somebody did something, somebody said something, and now all of a sudden you just feel some kind of way, and now you're tired. Disconnection. Because you're not fully expressing that. It's kind of sitting there in your body and you're feeling it, but you're not really dealing with it. This is why we say get real and be healed. Amen. So fatigue is a sign that you're disconnected. Let's look at some more. Another sign that you could be possibly disconnected in your heart, from yourself, from what's really going on inside of you, is just that general feeling of being in a funk. When you feel like you're just in a funk, you just don't want to be around people. You just, that funk feeling. You know what I'm talking about? That's a sign. That's a sign when you just are not right. And that is a clear sign and a clear indicator that there's some healing work to be done. That's a sign that you need to get before God. That's a sign that you need to sit with yourself and like discover what's going on inside of you. So if you find yourself just generally in like a funk, right? And of course, when we're like this, this is our bodies. Again, this is our flight or fight response. And it's the flight response. We're trying to run away, but we're trying to run away in our mind, and it's not working. And so when you try to run away from yourself, these are the symptoms that you exhibit, right? And if you again find yourself, you're irritable, easily annoyed by silly stuff, everything is getting on your last nerve, stuff that normally wouldn't bother you. Now it just totally irritates you to no end. It's not them. It's not them, beloved. It's you. It's you. If you're in that space of being easily irritated by stuff that in the past will not irritate you. And another sign is when you look to be distracted. You're checking your email every 5 seconds. You're scrolling TV channels every 5 seconds. You're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, constantly looking, constantly doing stuff. You're snacking all the time. Snack. You're not hungry. You're disconnected. You're distracting yourself. Again, it's the way that we use to kind of run from ourselves. We use the food and the snacks and the distractions of all our media and gadgets to literally run from ourselves. We are disconnected. Distraction and disconnection. Distraction and disconnection. We're talking about matters of the heart. It's time to come home, and we are on the journey home. And so it's time. This is a call. Okay, God, I'm ready to come home. I cannot live in this fatigue. I cannot live running from myself. I can't keep running. I have to feel all these feelings, sit with it, and understand what is going on with me. And lastly, if you're in that place of disconnection, another sign would be, and this is kind of a interesting sign, but you want to be isolated. You don't want to be bothered with people, but at the same time, you want attention. It's like you want to isolate. You don't want people. You don't want to be around people, but you still want attention too. You don't want to be around people, but you want somebody to notice you. You don't want to be bothered, but yet you still need attention. Doesn't that sound funny? Isn't that a catch-22? Well, if you're in that place, it sounds funny, but I've been there. And if you're in that place, as you're listening to this and you find yourself there, that is a sign that you are disconnected. And if you find yourself in any of those places, my word for you on today is to just kind of sit with this message and become aware of it. Become aware of what's going on inside of you and step outside of yourself a little bit. And what do I mean by that? I mean, when you feel those feelings, when you feel that fatigue, when you feel that irritation, when you're feeling that little feeling like I really don't want to be bothered, but then when you get by yourself, now you're feeling lonely because now you still realize you want attention. You really don't want to be alone. When you find yourself just mindlessly eating food and you know good and well that you're not hungry, I want you to pause. Don't judge yourself. Don't beat yourself up. There's no condemnation. There's no judgment here. Trust me, I've been there. I've been there. And sometimes I still go through because I'm a human. We're all in this together. And in times like this, with this pandemic, we're going to see more of it. We're enduring more of it. So if you find yourself in any of these places, the first thing I want you to do is just simply be aware of what's going on in your heart. Be aware of your feelings and do not beat yourself up about it, and don't judge yourself and don't condemn yourself and don't use all those language. Well, you show, you know, you should, and you do get. That's not helping you. That'll just drive you into further distraction and disconnection. We heal through love. We heal through self-acceptance. We heal through receiving the love of God. You are accepted in the beloved. You are accepted as a loved and beloved child of God. Sit in that for a moment. Know that you're loved. Know that you're seen. And know that you're heard. Now you have to see and hear yourself. We want other people to look at us, notice us, see us, and hear us. But when you're disconnected, you don't even see yourself. So on today, I encourage you to take this time, go back and re-listen to the replay of this. If you haven't done so, click the link to sign up to get the 14-day guide absolutely free. And we're going to go on a self-paced coaching journey where we walk for about 14 days, about 14 videos or so, maybe a little more, a little less. And sometimes I may go live and sometimes I may just do a pre-recorded video. But when you get your guide, when you download the guide, go along with it, do the work, answer the questions. Don't run from your soul work. Don't gloss over it. Don't skim and skip. Do it. All right? All right. So I look forward to going on this journey with you. Know that God loves you, that you are seen, that you are safe, and that you are secure, and that you are deeply, deeply loved. My heart is for you to walk in serenity. My heart is for you to be healed. So if you haven't done so, I encourage you to subscribe, follow, like, heart, share, whatever it is you want to do, and definitely sign up to be in the journey. This is Matters of the Heart, the journey home. Take care, and I'll be out here with you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.